Today, we're crafting 6 Christmas decorations. We've got elegant and traditional pieces, and at the end, a downright fun DIY that'll have you prancing to Dollar Tree. I'm Melissa. This is Craft Crumbs. Thank you for joining me. I found this pack of glitter cardstock at the Dollar Tree. I'm using stencil adhesive to make sure I have a nice bond and crisp lines when I'm done. And as you can see, it turned out beautifully. I had this sign in my stash that came from the Dollar Tree in the early fall, and I had scraped everything off of the front of it. I'm going to cut my glitter paper down to the right size and Mod Podge it to the front of this board. I noticed that the edges were trying to come up a little bit before the glue had dried, so I used my little Dollar Tree clips and held them in place for the time being. I was going to put this little house that you see up there in the top right of the screen, but decided on a simpler design with a wood star at the top of the tree. I'm going to take this metal sign that says Believe and give the back side a light sanding just to ensure that it sticks to the board with hot glue. And then this project is done. Let me know in the comments what you think about this simple but elegant Christmas decor piece. This next DIY will have 3 different bottles or jars in it, 2 of which came from Hobby Lobby, the 2 there that you see on the left, and then the taller bottle, which I think is an oil or vinegar bottle, from the Dollar Tree on the right. At first, it's going to look like I'm simply applying transfers, and we are going to do that, but stick around because we're going to apply an effect that you wouldn't expect at the end. I picked up this pack of beautiful Christmas transfers from Amazon. I have these linked down below for you. And here I just wanted to take a minute and show you everything that you get in this pack. I mean, the images are just breathtaking. Sometimes I get transfers that has a high contrast and a lot of detail, and those are the ones I tend to gravitate to when I'm creating these videos. I'm going to cut out a few of my favorites and apply them to the jars using my fingers and a craft stick. On this first jar, there is a very defined circle in the glass. I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut off any part of the design that goes outside of that circle. Now, this would not be a Craft Crumbs project if it weren't detailed, so I'm adding some of those very small transfers to the tops of the corks. I love to add an unexpected element or sweet surprise whenever I can. We want those transfers to really pop, so to make that happen, I add white chalk paint to the back of each jar, using a sponge dabber and creating that cool texture we've all seen. I waited for that paint to dry and then off camera took these jars outside and gave them a light coat of matte clear enamel finish by Rust-Oleum. And this gave it the most precious frosted glass appearance. Now you can use frosted glass paint if that's what you have, that's totally fine. But this is how they look so far. The only other thing that I did off camera after the fact was paint around the tops of the jars with gold gilding paint. Here they are complete. I have to be honest, I'm in love with the end result. I really think these are gorgeous. And in my humble opinion, look like something you'd buy in an expensive boutique. Go down into the comments and let me know what you think about what we turned these 3 plain glass jars into. We've seen these oval tin planters at Dollar Tree time and time again, and there's no denying that their awesome oval shape has become a staple in seasonal decor. After spray painting it red with gloss finish paint by Rust-Oleum, I let it dry and then I'm bringing it inside and I will cover up that summertime embossing with a piece of seasonal scrapbook paper. I picked up this single sheet from Hobby Lobby to go with the holly that I intend to put inside this planter. When applying the Mod Podge over the paper, I'm going to wipe some of that back just so it dries a little faster and also prevent wrinkling. I'm going to cover the embossing on either side of the planter with this paper. I'm going to start to fill the planter. I took these picks of holly from the Dollar Tree and cut them down to size. I made sure that all of them are the same height. I was pretty impressed by this holly. I almost never find anything at the Dollar Tree that has leaves that I like, but these are reasonably good. I used 3 picks in total to fill this. The candle is here just as a placeholder because we're going to be putting something else in the center in just a moment. I wanted to add a little more interest to the planter, but with corresponding colors. I found this pack of 6 small round ornaments at Dollar Tree. I snipped the ribbon hangers off the top and now I'm going to stab them with these skewers that I painted white and cut in half. I'm going to poke them into that foam at varying heights. And I play around with these a little bit throughout and finally settle on a position that I like. With the colors of red and green and white, I wanted to add a pop of gold. I only had 2 of these gold bottle trees, but I would love to see it with more than just the 2. I think they look really cute peeking out through the foliage. Now comes the best part. Dollar Tree has these color morphing Christmas trees in stock right now, so I picked one of them up for the center. And here I'm showing you what it looks like with the lights off. This is not going to sit tall enough in the planter, so I'm using this small rectangular container to give it a bit of a boost. The only thing left to do is add a bow. And this is the completed project. I wanted to show you how you can take corresponding colors, paper, textures, and design to bring something together that looks high-end but only costs a few dollars. This can be a nice alternative or companion to poinsettias. Let me know in the comments what you think about this holly arrangement. Have any of you seen and picked up this votive holder? It's kind of a chamomile color and it has an iridescence to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to turn it upside down and apply more of those Christmas transfers that we saw earlier. I'm going to go all the way around this votive holder with the transfers. I sealed this with a matte finish top coat and I'm ready to move on. What was originally the bottom of the votive is now going to be the top, and I need to add a finial here, so I'm going to sand it lightly with my sandpaper. Scuffing up the glass on here will help the bond between the wood and the glass. All of the miscellaneous wood pieces that you see me use here over the next few minutes either came from Temu or Hobby Lobby. But I'm essentially taking one of these flat wood rounds and I'm going to attach it down to the glass first using super glue. And this will create a nice base for what we'll use as the handle. I'm going to cover the handle and its base in gold gilding paint. And then I'll add a strip of gold around the rim of the votive. This has really taken on the appearance of a bell, so let's make it a bell. You may have seen a short that I recently published where I turned 2 Dollar Tree candle holders into snowmen with a jingle. And we're going to use the same concept with this. Taking the largest bell that I find from the Dollar Tree and a piece of twine, I'm going to start making the bell. Here I have another finial that I'm also painting gold, and this will help me anchor that bell inside the votive holder. And I'm going to attach that using super glue. Once that's done, I'm going to add a few embellishments to the top. And the cutest part of the embellishments is this tiny cinnamon stick. I wish I knew where I got it. Here is the completed project. This is what it looks like on the inside. Let me know in the comments what you think about my makeshift bell using Dollar Tree products. I painted 5 of these Dollar Tree snowflakes white, and I'll start to embellish them using these 1.5-inch wood discs that I pulled from my stash. I want each of them to have a different picture on them, so I'm just going to randomly cut small images out from the scrapbook paper, and then I'll Mod Podge it onto the disc. We're going to glue these onto the snowflake, but I first want to add these, I guess they're silver leaf type things from Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, but I'm just clipping off small pieces of those, and I'm going to glue them onto the snowflake, and then I'll top it with that disc. To turn these into creative little snowflake picks, I added a skewer on each one of them. In retrospect, I should have painted these skewers white, but we're just going to go with it. I'm decorating each one of them a little different from the last, just using scraps from my stash. Here is what they look like complete. All the same concept, but each has its own design. These would be great for placing randomly in floral arrangements or other decor items in your home. You can also put these in a vase, set it on your entryway table, and let your guests take one when they come or go from Christmas dinner. This was just another way to use the Dollar Tree snowflakes, and as simple as it was, I'm curious to know your comments about the completed project. If you have not already done so, please grab one of these reindeer from the Dollar Tree and turn it into something adorable. Now, I should have removed the glitter from both sides, but I only did it from the front side. I didn't want the glitter to show up inside the faux fur that I'm going to add here with this yarn. I just didn't want the hassle. But back to the yarn. This yarn is fuzzy. It's not your everyday normal yarn. It kind of simulates fur, if you ask me. I'm going to wrap it around all of the exterior parts of the deer. I quickly lost my patience with having to go around the antlers to wrap the head, so I cut those off, and don't worry, we will reattach them later. I want to add more of the yarn to the spot between the neck and the front leg, so I'm gonna, instead of wrapping it around the deer, I'll wrap it around my hand and sort of make a patch of fur, if you will, and then quickly glue that down. I had a thought to paint the hooves pink. I don't know why, but I changed my mind, went with black because I really don't know what color a deer's hooves are. We're just going to go with black and play it safe. I wanted to add a cape to this deer, so I'm adding one of these flashy tree skirts that's made for a mini tree. I cut it down to fit my deer and saved the rest for another project. Here you can see me gluing it down, trying to create pleats to give it a more realistic look. Using this gold twine from Hobby Lobby, I'm going to attach a silicone bell that I made just for giggles last week, and I'm going to put that on as a collar. You can use whatever you find in your stash to make an eye for your deer. Here I'm just reattaching those antlers. The deer looks adorable, but it can't just float in the air with nothing behind it. So I'm taking one of these newer wood rounds from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it in the color maize. I'm going to glue the reindeer down onto this round and make it look like the deer's flying in front of a full moon. I had previously used white acrylic paint to try to paint in a little bit of white under the deer's tail, and I didn't really like that it wasn't showing up very well. I'm going to take another piece of that tree skirt, try to shape it the way I need it, and glue it to the underside of the tail. As a final step, I'm going to apply the words Merry Christmas that I cut out on my Cricut. Here is the completed project, and I have just two questions for you. Number one, would you have left the antlers the way they are, or would you have changed them, maybe painted them a different color, removed the glitter, etc.? And the second question is, would you have put on a red nose, or a black nose for that matter? My friend, you have stuck around until the end. You have braved the 6 Dollar Tree DIYs that I had for you today, and I really appreciate you staying. Here is a look back at what we created today. If you're in the mood for more Christmas DIYs, well, I really don't have a lot on my channel because the channel is so new. But here's the playlist of what I have so far. And this upcoming week, I will be working to add to the Christmas collection. Be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell so that you're always notified when I upload. And until next time, friend, don't forget to craft what you love.